What's up, Drivetrain? Dave back here with another video. Hey, one of you all asked me in the comments to do a bike check on my kids' bikes. And I thought, hey, it's the end of the season. We're just kind of chilling now. We're kind of done for the year. Not just biking, but like school and all that stuff. We're kind of on holiday vacation, Christmas vacation, because, well, Christmas is in just a couple days. That also means that my post-Christmas clinic for 30 and over year old people is coming up soon as well. But I've got my son's race bike behind me here, and maybe we'll pull them out one by one and kind of walk through. Some of them are more complicated or involved than others, but just kind of show you what we got. And yeah, maybe you find this helpful. And because I know everybody sees like, oh, Dave's building some bike and I do, you know, kind of footage for VEGA Racing and, you know, promoting this and that. What are my kids biking on? Maybe that's the thought or the idea. So I'll tell you their age, the proficiency, and the bike that they're on. Maybe that helps you figure out things for your own kids' bikes. All right, let's start out with this one. So this is my youngest child. His name is Judah. He's almost 12. He is on the smaller side for his age, and this is a DK Sprinter Expert. This is a pretty stock bike. Everything on it is DK Sprinter except for a couple things. We do have some Sun Accelerate tires. These are, I don't know where we got these from, but they were on here when we got it, and so they are still on here. We did swap out the bars, put a set of 11 race bars on here for him. He likes that. These grips were not stock, but they're grips. They're lock-on grips. And the seat, we didn't want like a super race seat for him, so we found this MCS seat in the bucket, and we put that on for him. The other thing that I did change were the crank arms and sprockets. So from the factory were 165s. I felt that was a little long for his shorter legs, so we bumped these down to 155s. And then the sprocket that's on here is a 37. So he's running a 37 in the front, I believe 16 in the back. But whatever the factory cassette is in the back or cog, I've got a 37 up front. But this bike is pretty straightforward. It's just how we got it. We picked it up used, and he's been riding it for, gosh, almost 2.5 years now. So that's a DK Sprinter Expert BMX bike. He rides it in the trails. He rides it on dirt jumps. He rides it on the racetrack. And you can tell that because there is dirt on the pedals. We grease the chain up on occasion, but he has fun in it. And that is the first bike. Next up here, we have Riley's bike. This is a bit more involved. Riley is now 17, and this is her race bike here. So this one is a VEGA Racing frame. This is a pro-sized frame. We do have the VEGA Racing BMX forks. These are actually the forks that I was riding last year. So we got the green logo to go with the green logo on the frame. We got the gloss black on this frame for her. But you can see the forks are a little dull. I thought about repainting them just with some, you know, cleaning them up and shooting more clear on them. And then also the wheels. So these wheels are VEGA Racing carbon hoops. They're Profile Elite hubs. And the spokes are some 44 BMX rainbow spokes. I like that most of them are pink, but she's also got this nice custom valve cover stem, which kind of matches the theme here. We got those from The Way Church. Thanks and shout out to Josh Weatherspoon. Most everything else on this bike, though, came from the last bike that she had. So she was riding a Redline before this, but we went ahead and brought over the Stay Strong seat, which I'm kind of jealous. I really like the seat. The seat post came over from that. The seat post clamp may or may not have come over. I don't know. Maybe we found that in the bin here. These cranks and the bottom bracket came over from the Redline. These are some basic bottom bracket and crank set that you can pick up on Amazon for pretty cheap. These flats were the flats that she was running on her previous bike. We even still have the Redline chain tensioners on here. One thing I like about this VEGA frame is that you can either run, you see the disc brake mount through there, you can either run disc or you can run V-brakes. And so these V-brakes actually came off of my previous build. When I went to disc, we scooted those over for her. Up top, we've got the bars and setup she was running. So she's got this profile stem flipped upside down. She's got whatever bars these are, not sure, they were on the Redline. Promax brake lever and her ODI Vans grips that she really likes. So this is her race bike. This is what she rode all season long. We did have to bump her gearing a little bit different. She's running a 3913, I believe. 3914. Man, I forget. I forget what her gearing is. I'll put it down in the description below. So if you're really curious and you really want to geek out, look down in the description for that information about this bike. But this one, again, it started out as just to get a frame and swap parts, and then we went a little bit more into it when I started building my bike as well. But there's a pro size frame, 20.5 inch top tube. All right, next up, this is Riley's Cruiser. We picked this up this past season, and she raced it a couple of times. We're gonna hold on to it just because she likes the idea of racing Cruiser with the girls and not having to deal with the boys, because she's still running novice class for 1720 novice. But this gives her an opportunity to ride with her friends. This was a basic bike we picked up. You probably saw a video of it. If not, I'll link it down in the description below. But this started out as a basic Redline. Again, what I liked about this one is the top tube is a little bit shorter. This top tube, I think, is 21.2 inches, where most Cruisers that you get right now are 21.7 or 21.8, 21.75, somewhere in there. They're way too big for her. So this was a lady that we found. Again, we've got another MCS racing seat that we like so much. We found this one in the bin, we put it on there. We've also got, most things came on this bike. So let's just talk from the top down. Bars were on it, the Tech Pro lever was on it, the headset, the stem, those were all on it. I just flipped things over to get a little bit lower here instead of being set up high. We've got the stem drop down lower. Frame and fork, obviously there. The cranks, these are, I believe, some more original profile cranks. We've got this big old sprocket on there. That's a 42. She's running a 4218 on this. The chain tensioners were on it, SE, but I did have to switch over and put my brake calipers, the brake arms on that, because I put my hoops and wheel set. So these are actually my wheels off of my Cruiser. These are Profile Mini in the back and Profile Elite in the front. And those are on VEGA 24-inch hoop with some regular old alloy spokes on it. We got, again, the Sun Accelerate tires, and that's because those are the tires that came on my Mongoose, which is where my whole Cruiser life started. We've also got my old flats on here, my Fuker flats. Those were in the bin from my previous ride. So this bike was just kind of, again, picked up for her to be able to ride a couple races on, have some fun with the girls on Cruiser, but also in the process I wasn't racing Cruiser, so I just tossed my wheel set on there for her. All right, next up we've got the Gateway, the Cult Gateway. This has a story behind it, but this bike is all stock. Everything on it is stock. It's just how you'd buy it if you went to the bike shop and bought a Cult Gateway, except that this one comes with the awesomeness, which is the Rad Share sticker. So the story behind this bike was we were at the Rumble in Richmond a couple years ago, and we had the kids out in the kids jam, and Judah, my youngest one, was out riding in Crocs. The Crocs, funny enough, almost matched the color of this bike. And when the Fast and Loose guys were here, they said he was the fastest and loosest out there. And so he actually won this bike at the the Rumble in Richmond, at the kids jam at the Rumble in Richmond. And so we brought it home. We were like, what in the world do we do with this bike? It's way too big for him. But as you can see, there's a lot of dirt on this. These tires, they're dirty. The hoops, they're dirty. Everything in this thing is dirty because my daughter's been having fun, Riley's been having fun riding this thing out at Taylor Farm Park, in the dirt jumps, at Gillies Creek in the dirt jumps. And so we've got it set up and sized for her. It's conveniently about the same size top tube. I think this is a 20-inch top tube, maybe a 20.5, but it's something close to her race bike. And anyway, we got the bars set up for her. And at one point we found some other really short bars that I stuck on this so that Judah could ride it, but he didn't really, it was just too heavy, too kind of cumbersome for him. And so he just has fun on his race bike, but we've got this one out there for her to ride and she has fun with it. So some days we do, you know, race bike action. Some days we do the trail bike action, but we have fun with it. All right, last bike here is my trail bike. I know it's supposed to be a kid's video, but I figured maybe you're interested in my trail bike. It hasn't changed really at all since the last bike check video I did on it, but let's take a peek at it. We'll see what's up with this thing. So this is the S&M Credence frame. This is a, what is this? 21.25 top tube. We've got the Odyssey 32 forks on the front. Up top we got S&M slam bars. We've got a nice Odyssey brake lever. This is the S&M Race XLT stem, 53 millimeter. Cranks are Salt 1.75 cranks. Got a profile, what is this? This is a 36. Yeah, I'm running a 3613 on this. Got the Fuker flat pedals, back for some more action. Forget what seat this is. Oh, apparently it's an Odyssey seat, maybe. Sure, looks like it. And a seat post, perfect. We've got a chain, need one of those. We got some Odyssey brakes, awesome. They kind of stop on occasion, but I guess the big talking point on this are the wheel set. So these wheels I bought from a buddy of mine a number of years ago. We've got the Alienation hoops, tie spokes, and Profile Elite hub up front in that purple colorway. And we've got a mainline 2.0 tire up front, 2.1 tire up front. And then out back, we've got another Profile Racing Elite hub in the back with Alienation and tie spokes. And this is a 2.1 Theory tire. Thank you, Chad Powers, for that. But that is my trail bike. It's super fun. It's not set up with as tall a bars as a lot of people do because I like my bikes to feel kind of similar. I do wish it was longer, but it's a trail bike. And I don't do many crazy tricks on it, so I'm not tail whipping and all that stuff, but this is my trail bike. I like to go just jump some dirt on it and have fun. That is the trail bike there. All right, joke, this is the last bike. Now, all of this was sparked because I needed to get this bike out of the shed. I needed to get the cruiser out because we've got this clinic coming up and I'm gonna be teaching, but I've also got a buddy of mine that's gonna need to borrow a bike. And so I'm gonna put the wheels off of Riley's cruiser back on this one, make it back to a rideable bike. But what is this bike? Well, this is my cruiser. Let's take a look at it. So this is the Mongoose Title Elite Cruiser, 21.75 top tube. It's the only thing that it comes in. It's still got the stock Mongoose seat and seat post. It's all combined one piece together. Stock seat clamp, stock brake arms. This is the stock cranks. I am running a Renin 42.2 sprocket up front. And I've changed out a little bit up front here as well. So I've got these Answer bars, similar to what I'm running on my 20-inch. We've got the Answer grips, Promax brake lever. This is a Stay Strong. I think it's a 58 millimeter stem. It's a little bit longer. I wanted a little bit more rider area. And then we've got the VEGA forks down here. VEGA carbon forks for the cruiser size. So I am going to take the wheel set off of Riley's Cruiser, the white one that we just saw. I'm gonna put those back on here. I'm gonna put the Fuker flat pedals back on here. I'm gonna get this thing set up and working for the clinic time. Now you might be saying, Dave, what in the world is this thing? Are you going to the grocery store? What is that? Is that a basket? Nope, that is a fender. That is a fender because I butt scrubbed twice and about died. And so I went ahead and bought a fender. It is just designed as a lightweight addition on here, where instead of catching your butt on the tire, you catch your butt on this and you don't die. You don't butt scrub and die, which is good. This is the bike though. The chain is still here. This wheel is actually off of that Cruiser that I picked up. And so it's got an old profile freewheel on there. That's a freewheel. It's actually a flip-flop hub. If you look on this side, it's threaded down there where you could put another freewheel on it. But that one's going to come off and go onto Riley's Cruiser, just so she still has some stuff to ride around. But outside of that, this thing is going to get put back together, and that's what the rest of the video is going to be, is me reconditioning this bike to make it rideable. Let's get it. All right, so we're set up here. We got a dog running around trying to eat my toolbox. Get out of there. Go on. We got a wheel off. You always got to start with one thing, and well, a front wheel seemed like the easiest way to get a little quick win here. It's not challenging, but you know how it is. You want to get set up and get yourself a win, feel like you're doing something. So let's get this guy put together here. $8mm bolts. Grab our torquilizing tool. There's that. And that. Got ourselves a front wheel again. Excellent. Dog, what you doing? Why do I have all this stuff all over me? Gracious. Okay, we need pedals. Pedals are 6mm. So this is the non-sprocket side. We're going to go ahead and fit that on here. We do have the washer on there, just to save the crank arms. Okay. Tighten these things on. There's one. It's good. Now it's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, except on pedals and cranks. One side of your crank's always backwards, so that they're always tightening while you're pedaling. Somebody put a stick through the middle of the table, and he's down here trying to eat it and pull the stick out. Finnegan, what are you doing, bud? I thought you were being a shop dog with me. Also, a lot of times your pedal will have a little line through one side, and the smooth side is the sprocket side. That's how I remember it. Smooth side is sprocket side. It also helped that I just took these off of another bike, but that's beside the point. Smooth side is the sprocket side. Okay, we got pedals, we got a front wheel, we need a back wheel. Now the back wheel is a bit more complex and complicated because, yeah, we've got that fender on there. But I'm gonna start by taking this wheel off, and I'm just gonna use this table right up in your teeth here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but yep, this is right up in the teeth here. That dog is having problems with that table, and that is completely fine and fun. So we'll let him just keep fighting with it, arguing. Did you win? Did you win? You got a victory stick? Hey Finn, did you get a victory stick? You won, huh? Okay. All right, where were we? Right here. Taking a wheel off. Now this is gonna be a little bit more complicated because this one always seems to have like, one bolt likes to be loose or tight, and usually takes two things to get it done, and I don't know. Anyway. Brakes. Those are disconnected. Take a wheel out. Don't let the cog come out. Watch that for me. Watch that. I gotta take this thing apart now. This is 15 mil. It's old school. So we're going 15 millimeter. That is definitely a 17. Here's the 15 millimeter. Somebody is banging down the street. Car stereo cranked up, living their best life down there, making a ruckus out of the neighborhood. Oh, that's right. This was kind of interesting. This has a through axle. So if I take these bolts off, which you may or may not be able to see, but the axle goes all the way through. So I had to stretch the fender around it to get it to go on here, since this has an old school through axle. So I got to stretch these out, get that up, get this thing to come on, there we go. Oh, I got to take the chain off. Womp womp. Pull it out. Now this thing's going to collapse and do all kinds of weird things. Yeah, so see, this thing had the through axle on it, and so I had to stretch to fit it on there. I never did clean these wheels up. I talked in that last video that I made about this bike that I was going to clean these up. I never did. I just literally stuck them on there and put that cruiser together so she could ride it, and here we are at the end of the year. Will they get cleaned up? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. All right, let's put this thing together here. So we're going to slip slide that in, get that around, get this guy in place. Get a bolt. Give me a bolt. Who's got a bolt? Give me a bolt. Are these my chain tensioners? Are those SE ones mine? I think they are. I need chain tensioners for sure. Okay, well, let's just leave that like that for a second. Front one or back one? Oh, gracious. Kids, you never know what your parents do if they're the ones turning wrenches on your bikes. We're out here trying to figure out ways to make things work, and you're like, I just want to go faster. Give me the newest parts. I need all the things. We're out here trying to drop bolts and... All right. I know I'm complaining. I'm sounding like, get off my lawn. I'm trying to line up all the things here. Okay. I got that one in. Excellent. It's a good start. 25% of the time, we're 50% of the way there. We also know that that needs to fit in the front hole. So we're going to precariously straddle this. Do that. One hole. Two hole. Where's the two hole? And now if we can find the wheel, somewhere up in there. Oh, we're cooking with Kung Fu now, boys. We got this thing going together. Chain, really loose, a lot. It's a lot loose. But we're gonna tighten up the chain tensioner, see what we can get. Let me go ahead and move this out the way. That's right in your way. Dog, get out my tools. Yeah, keep out of my tools, pups. Come on. 10 millimeter. Takes 10 millimeter. Excuse me. So I'm just loosening this nut up all the way. That way I can tighten the chain tensioner and add some attention. Now, I don't want to go too far on one side and not do the other side, because then it'll be all lopsided. So on this side, I'm watching the actual chain itself kind of start to squeak some pressure on this thing. And what I'm hoping for is that I don't have to switch the hole on these tensioners to the back one. I'm hoping that this thing, there is, okay, well, we may be switching this. Let's just see. We'll see what we get. Let's get the actual Allen wrench, because that is about as tight as it's going to go. 4 millimeter, no, 5 millimeter. I keep lying on these sizes. Okay, yep, that's about where she's going to live right there, which luckily I'm not having to switch it. I'll go ahead and grab this 8 mil and try and tighten this one side up, just to get it, oh, it's all spinning. I just want it situated, because the tire is all not right. But at least I know generally where it needs to go, so I can start tightening this side up now with the aforementioned 5 millimeter. And let's just get this thing cranked almost all the way in. Trying to use to straighten the wheel up, something like that. Pull this whole contraption together. How tight is the chain? Too tight. My dog is now in the fence. It's supposed to keep him out. All right, so this is good. We can loosen. Can I loosen? I can. Mentally, can I? Oh gosh, there goes the bike. We're losing the bike. Hold it. You're supposed to catch it. Okay, well. Whew. That was a fiasco. Okay, we're trying to loosen this axle up just a touch so I can loosen the 10 mil nut that I tightened too much, so that I can then loosen the wheel back up, because that chain, you ain't fitting anything in that chain. So I had one too many Happy Meals. It's a little tight. Okay, we got some play back in there. The wheel, it's too much to this side, so let's loosen this side up a touch. And let's start to tighten this guy up. I'm gonna get an 8 mil and an 8 mil, and we're gonna have a little time of this here. So if we get these set, those are tight. Should spin. Excellent. It should be not off axis, that's good. Straight. Chain is too tight. There's the loose spot. It should be a little looser. Let's go back in. And now, look at that. She runs free and straight. Tighten up our bolts so we don't get any clicking and clacking. Let's flip it over and do some brakes, which in theory should not have been messed with, but this seat is surely messed with. Oh my gosh. All right, let's, oh, I think I had the practice seat on it. All right, whatever. Should you put the brakes on, just see? Let's just poke and hope here. Oh, these pads are shot. Hold on, you got to see these pads. Come in here, get a close look at these pads here. Let's see if I can get you in real tight. Those pads are real worn out. But I got a pair in the bin for this because this side equally as worn out. So I got a pair in the bin. I'm gonna have to go find those, put some new pads on here. I don't know, maybe I'll just see how they roll. I'm only gonna ride them for one day. And I think the next time I ride this bike might be March. So let's see what we get. Man, those levers always feel good. All right, let's take a peek at our alignment here. Bring you back down. And what we're looking at is this brake lever and that brake arm. Let's see if I can get my hands out of the way, but still you guys can see it. So when I pull, I'm looking for even pull. See how the right side's moving more than the left? I'm gonna adjust the set screws just a little bit. You got a screw right here, and I'm gonna loosen this one up because this side's moving more. So I need to shift everything that way just a touch. So I'm gonna loosen this by a quarter turn, tighten the other one a quarter turn. Let's do that. So we're gonna come in here, we're gonna go just a quarter turn, like that. And this one over here, we're gonna go in, quarter turn. There we go. And let's see how they work now. You ready? Oh, look at that. That's real nice. Little movements on those go a long way. All right, well, let's take this little reconditioned race ride out into the alley and see if it actually rides and stops. All right, y'all, outside of the fact that the tires haven't been pumped up in a while and they feel like old school tires, I think they got about 35 pounds in them, but it rolled, it stopped, it rode, tightened those tires up. She's mint and ready for the clinic. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Let me know if you got questions down in the comment section below. I'm always answering questions. Again, I'll try and put some stats or some numbers that maybe you might find important down in the description. So check down there. Things like people always want to know sprocket size and, you know, cassette size and crank arm size and all that stuff. But if you want to know something specific, ask that in the comment section. But outside of that, listen, whatever your bike is, get on the bike, go ride, go have fun. It's BMX. You know, you can advance your bike and your skills and stuff like that, but have fun with some friends. I'm apparently going to go chase my dog because I don't know what he's doing on the other side of this camera right now, but it's not what he's supposed to be doing. But that's it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We'll catch y'all later. Peace.